We are the Restaurant Brokers, and we sell restaurants.
We started the nation's largest restaurant brokerage firm over a decade ago.
Atlanta, Georgia was our starting point, but our brand is spreading nationwide. We define restaurant brokerage and help buyers just like these.
Our dream, our goal, open up a restaurant, loving life, serving people breakfast and lunch, and then enjoying the rest of the day with them and ourselves.
Buying an existing restaurant, leasing a closed restaurant space, or purchasing a restaurant franchise, we help buyers satisfy their appetite for acquisition.
I'm part of a husband and wife team with this fella.
Working with my wife has been a lot of fun. The ultimate goal for everybody here is to make this work. And because we have different strengths, we bring different angles to the deal.
The process begins with our powerhouse website, WeSellRestaurants.com, where buyers sign online confidentiality agreements and browse restaurants for sale.
Then we send buyers undercover to check out a restaurant and decide if it's the right one for them.
Buyers get our proprietary business analysis tool with all the financial details on the business for sale.
After studying the restaurant inside and out, it's back to our office.
We are deal makers. We write contracts and negotiate terms for buyers and sellers. That's why we sell more restaurants than any other firm in the nation. We are the Restaurant Brokers. Our name says it all. You're back on the air with the Restaurant Brokers, Eric and Robin Gagnon, and we sell restaurants. We are the industry leaders in restaurants for sale, franchise restaurant resales, and site location for the food service industry. We are franchising our concept nationwide. For more information, visit us online at WeSellRestaurants.com. We have offices in Florida, Colorado, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Georgia. And today we are talking about one of our favorite subjects. My husband is such a fan and just really, really good on our grill, I have to say. Eric, are you having a ball on today's show?
I am, and again, I've said it for many years, but watch out, Bobby Flay. I'm coming after you. I'm going to take you down one day. I will not take these guys down because they're very good, but Bobby Flay, I think I can take him eventually. So, Linky and Chef DP, thank you for still being here today and talking about grilling. And I want to ask Chef DP a little bit, because you had a restaurant you mentioned, and now you're in a roadside setting. Now, if I have restaurateurs that have maybe already an established business and they want to take it on the road, not literally, but maybe do it outside. Now, you talk about festivals, you talk about things like that. Do you think it's a wise investment to invest in some of that portable equipment and maybe go do festival to attract more people and bring more awareness to your facility?
Well, for me, I think it's a great idea because the overhead is not the same.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Also, in order to brand, I believe you have to, travel outside of the local area, network and connect with others. And it's a great experience as far as learning.
And speaking of branding, you have your own line of sauces and seasonings. So you've really taken that to heart and started to develop the Chef DP brand and Sabroso sauce. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. First of all, the website is sabrososauce.com, SABROSOSAUCE.com. You can also find it at Twitter, Sabroso Sauce. On Facebook, Sabroso Sauce Brand, BRAND, and Instagram, Sabroso Sauce. It was a challenge. It's something that I started in college, and it took like 3 years. Go through FDA and the whole nine. I have a healthy season. It's a dry rub, no MSG. It's all natural. There, no salt. It's low in sodium.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I have Sabroso sauce is the brand. You have Sabroso sauce dip. It's a Latin with a Caribbean twist, and it has a tangy sweet, and it has a little spice where it lights your palate. However, once you dip your chicken, seafood in the sauce dip, you don't need water to,
Cool it down.
Cool that down.
Yeah, cool down the spice. So it's a very unique flavor.
That's my kind of flavor.
So, Linky, and I think, everybody always has the same question when we have someone on who's been on Next Food Network Star, any of those great shows out there that launch careers. So you were a favorite there. So what are you doing now? Tell our audience what you're up to.
First of all, I think I should write a book on what are you supposed to do when you get off a reality show.
We'd buy that book.
Well, I am working on a cookbook. It's been such a long, drawn out process because I'm traveling. I travel. I do cooking demos and classes around the country, food and wine festivals, taste off. A lot of times I'm doing wine and food pairings, beer food pairings, chocolate and wine, bourbon and chocolate. I mean, doing all these fun things. I'm doing some keynote speaking. And like I said, my goal is to have a cookbook soon, but it's so hard because I, as a chef, and Chef DB, you will probably say the same thing. You measure a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this. And so the hardest thing about the cookbook is actually recording what you're doing, sitting down and saying, okay, what am I doing? Putting it down. And so that's been quite a process, but in the meantime, I do everything I can find my fingers to do. I do some radio segments, some TV, still morning shows around the country. So, and eventually, I still hope to have my own show on one of the networks.
So I love that. That's your long-term goal, have your own show. I think that's fantastic because you are obviously so photogenic and beautiful and fabulous on Next Food Network star. So, Chef DP, your goal is that, like, get Sabroso sauce in every Whole Foods or supermarket is because you got a big dream when you're out here as a chef.
My long-term goal, I would say, that's part of it. I want to add. I have a recipe for a frozen food product, so I want to add a frozen food product to the brand, and also to I have gallon sizes on the way for commercial for restaurants.
Oh wow!
So I have gallon sizes that's coming, and my long-term goal is I want to create a culinary school for the youth, for kids, not just to teach them to cook, but I think to focus on eating healthy. Because before you cook, you need to know what you're putting in your body.
Absolutely.
And teach them teamwork and discipline. Because in the kitchen, you need discipline, you need teamwork.
You should talk to G. Garvin after that. He was on our show, and he's in line with that. Maybe you guys can partner up.
Okay, that'll be great.
And you agree with that too, Linky? Teamwork and discipline, the two big measures of success in the kitchen?
Absolutely. And, I've seen some fabulous restaurants fail because they couldn't get a good team together. So I think anytime you run big operations like that, culinary schools around the country, it completely boils down to teamwork and how well you can work together, and respecting the food, respecting each other, and respecting the equipment is key in doing something big like that.
Now, Linky, I got to ask you, Robin and I were in South Africa a few years back, and we were fortunate to be there on Braai Day. Any hope that you will actually champion this and we will have a Braai Day in America anytime soon?
Oh, absolutely.
That's got to be your favorite day.
I would love it. I did a class a while back that was called the South African Braai, and I did some grilled elk, and I did lamb, and I did some red deer. We couldn't fly in ostrich, but definitely. We love our South African braais. There's a Team South Africa that's coming over to compete in the Jack Daniels, and so I'm very excited. I met these guys last year, and they just love to braai. They love to be out there, and anything they can grab their hands on is going on the grill.
And I think that sums up today, because both of you, very, very talented chefs with great followings, have told us really it's grab and put it on the grill. Don't be afraid. Experiment with new flavors. I think it's all great advice for all of our listeners who are foodies, would-be restaurateurs, current restaurateurs. I hope they took away some great information from this segment on grilling, and loved hearing from both of you. Thanks so much for listening today and every week as we satisfy your appetite for acquisition, feed the need for restaurant reality, and serve up a recipe for business success. Don't end there. Take a look at us online at WeSellRestaurants.com. Like us on Facebook at Facebook.com/WeSellRestaurants. Our Twitter handle is @SellRestaurants. We're very active, and we want to hear from you, our listeners.